concentrate on these two topics. Then we will look into the database table operations, and there are some concepts called joins. We will look into those concepts. Okay, so first of all, we'll see what is a transport request. See, a transport request is like a container. It is like a container which holds all the ABAP objects. It can be a program, it can be your data dictionary objects, it can be a package, it can be any object relevant to customizations. It means any object relevant to the customization. If you are creating any custom table, you create any custom program, you create any function module, you create any smart form, you create any SAP script. Okay, so these are the simple examples I'm talking about. So every time we create some object, we try to put that object into a transport request number. We try to put that into a transport request number. So what is the reason? So why we need to consider this point? In development environment, why do we have to put the objects into a transport request number? What is the necessity? The necessity is, generally what happens, as I told you in the beginning of the classes, we will have our own landscape like development, quality, and production. So let us suppose this is the landscape. So we always do our developments in the development environment. We always try to do our developments in the development system. So when we are doing this in the development system, we will have to export those developments or transfer those developments to quality, because quality system has rich data and development system has no data or minimum data or not the valid data. So we will transport that contents what we have developed from development system to quality system. So how do you transport it? How do you transport it? I will take a real-time example. You have to send a mail. You have to send a mail. You have all your contents ready. Let us suppose you have to courier. You have to just take an example of a FedEx courier. There is a shipment. Okay, you want to send it. So what do? You first collect all the objects. You collect all the objects. You pack it. You pack them. Once you pack them, what you will do? You will have a label created, and you will have the destination address. You will have the destination address. So you write the destination address and then you send it. So it means you are packing all the required objects that needs to be sent to a target or to a destination. So it means if you consider in the same way in terms of SAP, as I told you that development environment, you will have all your objects like programs, tables, function modules, or smart forms, or SAP scripts, likewise, etc. You will collect all of them into a container. That container is a transport request. That container is a transport request. So you will collect them. Then what you do? That transport request, you will have some number generated in your system. It has got a number generated. That transport which is created, you will actually try to release it. You try to release it. When you try to release it, there is a separate team called basis team. They will take care of those transport. Sometimes there are some background jobs scheduled. There are some programs already, standard programs done by SAP. They will schedule for every 15 minutes or for every 30 minutes, which are the transport released from the development system that has to go to quality. Okay, no need of any manual intervention required. That is one case. Sometimes we will have to drop a mail to the basis team with your transport request number saying that hi basis team, this is the transport request number. Please move this to the quality. You will mention the source system and you will mention the target system into which it has to move. So likewise, you will move the objects from development to quality. Let us suppose your objects are in quality now, you tested it and everything is working fine. The next goal is you have to send it to the production. Let us suppose. So in this case, what you need to do, again, you will drop a mail to basis guys saying, move this so-and-so transport request from development to, again, production. So once your developments are moved to quality, they are tested perfectly without any issues. And if everything is ready, I mean, the functional testing is completed by the functional people. And if there are no issues reported, the same development, they will tell you to move to the production. So likewise, any development that you do will follow the same process of the transport request. Okay. So how do we create a transport request and what are the different types of transport requests? Let us see that. There are two types of transport requests. One is workbench request. The other one is customizing request. There is workbench request. The other one is the customizing request. So if you go to the transaction code SC09, the transaction code for transport request creation is SC09. Of course, you also can create that using SC10 also. Okay, so most of the time, the functional people will be using the configuration. They'll be setting up the configurations, and most of the times they'll be using the transaction code SC10. And in our case, you can go for SC09. Okay, so this is the workbench request. So when we talk about the workbench request, all the custom objects that we build, as I told you, the objects with namespace Z or Y. Okay, Z or Y. Z or Y are called as custom objects. And the other than Z or Y, that starting with first letter as Z or Y, okay, will be under the SAP namespace. Other than Z or Y, starting with like some A, starting from A to X, they will come under the standard SAP objects. So when we are talking about the transport requests, these are all meant to only our custom objects. It means the functional person who did some configuration and or the SAP ABAP developer who did some kind of developments are only the objects which will come under the transport request. That which already SAP has created, that is available already in development, that will be already available in quality, that will be already available in the production also. Okay, so there is no need for us to transport something which is standard, something which is already created by the SAP system. I mean SAP on their side. Only that custom objects or customizations that we do newly will be transported or to be captured under the transport request. Okay, so most of the times, we being the ABAP developers, we always rely or depend upon the workbench request. We don't do customizations. Okay, we will do customizations very less, but we actually work on the workbench request. When we say customization means making changes to the existing system. Okay, there is some standard which is already there. Okay, so what you're trying to do, you are trying to make some kind of changes corresponding to your requirement, corresponding to your process. What is that? For example, you are creating a material. I'm telling a real-time example. We can create materials in SAP. Okay, so when you create a material number will generate. A material number will generate. So you can define the range for the material numbers. You can define the range. It means what should be the material number, how the material number should start. It should start with 1 series, or it should start with 555 series, or 444 series, or 222 series. What is the series that you want to have the system to be getting created? And what is the range from which number it has to start, and what is the target or what is the end material number, and what is the end material number. So this is like a simple config. This is like a simple configuration. Okay, who will be doing this? This will be done by the consultant. So because this is related to the material number generation, so this is relevant to the functional person on working on area, material management area. Okay, so this kind of the example, we call it as the customizing request. Not only that, there will be a number of things functional people will be working on. Just for your understanding, I told you an example of material numbers generating in the SAP system. So for every time, these people will actually configure it. Okay, so that's about the customizing. So when we talk about workbench, I told you already, like we create a program, we create a some SC24 class, or we create in a custom table, we create a data element, we create a domain, we create a view, we create a lock object, we create a smart form, we create a SAP scripts. All these things will be saved under the transaction code SC09. Okay, so that's about workbench request and customization request. Now let us see how do we create a transport request. So the very first step to create a transport request is use the transaction code called SC09. So this is the command box, as you know already. In SC0 and in the command box area, you need to call the transaction code called SC09. Once you call SC09, you will see the next screen. This is the next screen that will be visible to you with respect to your username. This is your username. And here you have a button called create button. You have a create button. When you click on the create button, okay, so you can see here, like you will see the types of requests like customizing and workbench requests. Transport copies and relocations are not relevant to us. Okay, so that's why I did not explain you here. But when time comes, I will just give some clarity on that as well. And you can see at the bottom, request status modifiable and released. You can see modifiable and released also. Modifiable means those transport requests which are still existing and you can make use of that. Released means you have already released that. It means already that the transport is gone from our development. I mean, it is released from the development. Okay, so we will see all those things also. So SC09 and click on the create symbol. Then you need to select the request type. So we are always dealing with the workbench request. We will select the workbench request. Then provide the description. You can provide the description. Generally, in real-time example, we will have the respective ticket numbers, or we call them as the change request numbers, CR numbers or COR numbers. We generally provide COR colon, and we will provide the description. If the description of the requirement, we will make it as short, just for understanding. By seeing the description of the TR, we will understand, yes, this is related to some change. Okay, so and so change. Okay, so once your transport request is created, it looks like this. You can see this is your transport request. Okay, so this is the numbering configured in the system. You can see your workbench, you can see modifiable, and you see the transport request number, who created it, and what is the description of it. And internally, you see there is one more number with 5485. Okay, so this is like a parent. The first one is like a parent, the next one is like a child. First one is like a parent, the next one is like a child. So parent and child relationship. So it means every time when you create a transport, it will have this is called as a main transport number. This is called as a main transport number, and this is called as a task. This is called as a task. So in main transport, you can create any number of tasks. You can have, for example, 5485. By default, it gets created at the time when you create the transport request number. So likewise, you can create any number of tasks. There is a possibility that you can have multiple tasks created under a single transport request number. Okay, so this is how we generally create the transport request. Okay, I will show you in the system the same steps how we are going to the transport request number. Okay, so now that's about the details about the transport request. process. Next, we also try to learn the next topic, package. So as you are now aware of the transport request process, then the package is also similar to the transport request. Okay, so this package, when we talk about any package, this is like it is also like a container. It is also like a container which can hold your objects, What do you mean by that? It means, just now I told you about the transport request process. In that I told you, like, it is a container, it can hold the different objects like a class, a function module, etc., things. Same way, when you talk about the package is the primary thing that comes into the picture as and when you start working on any development. It means you created some program and you try to save it. When you try to save it, you need to save it in a development class. You need to save it in a development class. Development class is nothing but this package. Okay, you will call it as a package. It's very simple. See, let us suppose we have our, let us suppose we are going on a trip. So what do? We do generally pack our things. We generally pack our things required for the trip, let us suppose. So what you will do? You will just separate them. For example, food items into one bag. Your all clothes into one bag. Okay, some snacks into one bag, some drinks into one bag. So you are just segregating, you are just separating all the items separately. Similarly, when you work on any development, you will try to capture those objects into a separate development class. Okay, one more example. Let us suppose I have a requirement to develop a report that is related to the material management module. It means module, let us suppose, module. Also, there will be some requirements corresponding to sales and distribution, SD module. And also, there can be some requirements for other modules like FICO, finance and controlling modules also. Okay, so when you're dealing with such things, what you do, you will have a dedicated package for every module. You will try to have a dedicated package for every module. For example, for you will have a separate package created. For SD, you have a separate package created. For FICO, you have a separate package created. So why? Because you have to differentiate. You have to segregate. The reason why you are segregating or differentiating is for your easy understanding. So it means you are putting all the objects into in an organized way into different containers, which is nothing but like a package. Okay, so we will also create the package and we will group all the objects, as I told you already. If you're going on a trip, if you have to pack your snacks, then all those snacks will be grouped together. You are organizing them. Similarly, when we talk in the real-time example, all the objects will be packed into one relevant package that you have created. You are going to group the related objects. You are going to group the relevant objects corresponding to that module. You're going to create relevant objects corresponding to a sales and distribution module. You're going to group relevant objects of that finance and controlling module. Okay, so that is how we specially use the package. That is the main usage of the package. Okay, so now end of the day, what we are trying to do, we are trying to collect all the objects under a single container, and we are grouping that, and we will send this again to the same, like as I told you in the transport process, like development to quality to production. The same thing will happen even with the package also. Okay, so now let us, as I told you already about the use of the package, let us see what is the transaction code for creating the package. So the transaction code for creating the package is SC21, or you can also create it in SC80 also. So let us go with SC21. The transaction code is SC21, and you provide the package you provide the package name, which is nothing but, like as I told you here, the ABAP_batch1, and provide the short description package for some batch1. And then next comes this package also has to be saved in a TR. As I told you already in the previous steps, the creation of the transport request. Now this package, you see, this is also this is also custom object now. If you see this, who is creating this? It's I am creating it. Let us suppose I am creating this. It means when I am creating this, then definitely I have to give a transport request number. Definitely I have to give a transport request number. So that is the reason why in advance I already created a transport request. I already created a transport request. I am providing here the details of the transport request. So when I provide the details of the transport request here, this object z_abap_batch1 will be now falling under this transport request number. Okay. So if you see this, your package is created. Already you had a transport request number. You can open the transport request number and you can see that package details in the transport request number. Okay. So I repeat the steps again. Once again, the transaction code is SC21, and you provide the package name, and you provide the description of the package, and then you provide the transport request number. You provide the transport request number. So there are two things. Either you can create a transport request in advance, you can create it in advance and keep it ready, or at the time of the creation of the package itself, you can have the transport request number created. You can see here there is a icon called create transport. You can also create the transport request number from here also. Okay. If already the transport request number is existing, then what you will do, you will use own request and you will try to save the package in the existing request. Okay. So I'll just take you through the system, the creation of the package and the creation of the transport request. Okay. So I log into SAP. I go to SC09 transaction. SC09 transaction is for transport creation. So the transaction code is SC09. I come to the transaction code, click on create. Click on create. It will ask you for the type of the request, customizing request or workbench request. I'll tell you examples of the customizing request as well in the later sessions, like being an ABAP consultant or ABAP developer. How do we make use of the customizing request? So we can have that example in the later sessions. And now I select workbench request. I say OK and provide the transport request number. I say generally TR means transport request for ABAP batch. Let us suppose. Okay, for ABAP batch. I say click on save. And you see this, you can see the transport request number created. What is the name of the transport, or the name, username who created it, and what is the description of the transport request number. Okay. So this is how you create the transport request number. Now, generally, if you want to see all the transports under your name, what you will do, you'll go back, you will say here, you will say select modifiable, click on display. Just observe here, these are all the transport requests. If you see this, we have client 800, we have client 810. So we are into 810 clients. You see this, observe here. These are all the different transport requests available in this client 8. See this 810. Okay. And if you observe here, these are all the different transport request number created by our people. You can see here 5488, 5482, right? So you will find many transports which are created over here, and People are practicing and people are saving their relevant objects into their own transports. So what I suggest you, when you create a transport, create it on your name. Create it on your name. For example, my name is Muhammad. Okay, I'll create this and then say transport for SAP ABAP developments. Okay, so let it be your name first, then provide a description, transport request for SAP ABAP developments, right? Now this will be my transport request number. So when someone goes to the system and tries to look into that system, it will be easy for them to identify that yes, this transport request belongs to Mohammed. Some other transport request belongs to some X person. Some other transport request belongs to some Y person. You can easily identify, and there is no confusion around for you guys. Okay, for saving your objects. Or else what happens, directly if you are giving the same description, for example, TR for batch 1, I may give one more transport request for, so see, you see here, TR for ABAP batch 2. It looks like similar. And instead of saving your objects into your own transport, you will misplace that object into other transports. There is a possibility. This is the SAP IDE. The username is only one username. We have only one username. Okay, so it will allow you to save into the other transport requests also. But in real time, your user will be different. Some other person will be logging into the system with his different with his user ID. But still, the same system, you can see other transports also over here. Okay, so in your case, in the real-time environment, there is no chance of making any mistake. But here in this example, in the scenario what I told you now, there is a chance that you can make a mistake. So I always advise you to create the transport request with your name in the likewise what I told you here, like less than symbol, your name, and a greater than symbol, and provide a description. Okay, fine. So now I'll go for creating the package. So now I'll open another session. I want to make this session active and I want to open another session. I say /OSE21. Okay, /OSE21. It opens a new session and you see my session remains as it is. The transport session is there here. It is remaining as it is and a new session will open. I say here again Z package. Okay, what you can do, you provide your name Z Muhammad _ some package. Okay, so click on create. Say here again package for SAP ABAP developments. Okay, just try to uniquely identify your package. Say okay. Now observe here. If you observe here, it will take by default in the next screen. The system will default take some transport request number, but don't worry about it. No, don't consider it. What you can do, there are two options. Option 1, I go to own request. In the own request, I will select the transport request number which is already created by me in the previous step. You see here, Mohammed TR for SAP ABAP development. I will select it. Just double click on it. Okay, you can see the transport request number and the short description of that transport. You have to verify these guys. Remember, in the real time also, you need to verify if you are going to save your objects truly in the transport relevant to you or related to you. Don't try to put this into other people's transport numbers. That will create a lot of mess. Okay, so I will take a separate session on the transport request release and what are the issues that we will generally face in the real time when we are releasing the transports from development to quality or development to production. Those things I'll have a separate session on that. Okay, so now I selected the transport request number which is already created by me and I click on continue. Okay, so this is the next screen that you that is shown to you, just click on save. Right. Now you are done with creating the package and you are done with assigning this package to your transport request number. Now what do? We go to the session where we have already created the package, transport. Observe here, you see this is the transport request I created, right? Okay, this is 54905491. You don't see anything under this, right? 5491, do you see anything over here? No, nothing. There is no object over here. What I do, I just click on refresh. Observe, you can see a plus symbol. It means there is a tree now. There is a tree. Just click on it. Now you see there is a package. You see there is a package. Now just open it. You see Z Muhammad underscore package. Okay, so by this you might have understood now. I saved this package Z Muhammad underscore package in transport 905490. Okay, so it means this is my main transport. Okay, but anything that you create will fall under the task. Anything that will be falling under this task only. This is a package, right? Now, what I will do, I'll try to create one more package. I'll try to create one more package. I'll try to create one more package. I will try to open a new session. I'm using now /NSE21. It means the present session will gets killed. Present session gets killed, and a new session will open in place of this present session. So while you are doing some developments on your side while practicing, practice this as well. /N/O. These things also you try to practice or try to habituate for this. Now hit enter. It is the same screen. There will not be any difference. What I do, I try to create Z Muhammad package 2. Let us suppose I'm trying to create a package 2. Now click on create. What I will say? This I will say it as Muhammad. I'll say package for SAP ABAP developments. I say okay. Right. Now what I'm trying to do, I'm not going to put my package into the existing transport request. I'm not going to put this package into the existing transport request. Rather, what I'm trying to do, I'll show you like from here how to create a transport request number. Okay. In the previous example, I told you I created a transport request number and then we went to creating the package. We saved this package in the existing transport request number. Now what I'm trying to do, I did not create any transport request number. Okay, let us suppose I don't have the transport request number, but I'm creating a package. In this process, how do I create a transport request number? So now on the screen, click on create transport request, create request. I say here, Mohammed TR for SAP ABAP developments. Okay. So I will put it as some practice like this. SAP ABAP developments practice. Okay. So this is my transport request number. Sorry, this is my transport request description. Now click on save. If you click on save, you see this, a transport request number will generate. You see the description? TR for, you see the description? TR for SAP ABAP developments practice. This is a new transport description that we have given, and the transport request number is by default created by the system automatically. Now I click on tick mark. My transport request is created. So where can I see that? Go back to the screen. Go back to the screen in SC09, right? You see now there is only one transport request with Mohammed TR for SAP ABAP developments. I just click on refresh. You see now a new request which we created is available over here. You see this TR for SAP ABAP developments practice. Now I just try to open it. Try to open this. Try to open the package. You see Z Muhammad package 2. Okay, Z Muhammad package 2. This is a new package which I created just now, and I went in reverse order. I created the package, then I went to creating the transport request number. In the previous case, I created the transport request, Then from transport request, then I later created the package, then assigned the package to the transport request. Okay. So if you, by default, you'll try to give this a description. For example, you want to change the description. Let us suppose you want to change the description, right? So double click on this. Double click on the transport request. Here, go to the properties and click on this change. You can make a change over here. If you want to make the change to the short descriptions, you can change it. For example, I will say practice 2, let us suppose. Now click on save. Now go back. You see here, practice 2 is changed. So likewise, whenever you start any development, okay, I know you already started it, but hereafter, what you do, you try to create a package in advance. You try to create a TR in advance, try to create a package, and try to put all your relevant objects into your package and transport. Okay, so this is very important activity that you do in your real-time environments as and when you are into any project. Okay, fine. So that's about 2 topics we covered. One is the transport request creation and the package creation, and how do we assign the package to the transport. Okay, these things we have seen. Now, next thing is, let me create one program. Let me create one sample program. Okay, so let me take, let us suppose, let me take some program which is already there. Let me take a program which is already there. I don't want to create. Just I will take this and I will say Z operations 2. Let us suppose I'm trying to create a program. Click on create. Say here internal table operations. Okay, internal table operations. Now you see, click on executable program. The type of the program is executable program. You click on save. Just observe this. You see here, previously at this screen, you were using local object. You are using local object. Now I explained you how to create a package. What you need to do, try to use the existing package now which you have created. Start using that. What do you mean by that? So here my package name starts with Z and it starts with Muhammad. Okay, you can try like this. You can try like this. Z MOH star. If you don't know the full package name, put star and click on this square button. We call this as the search help. It means this will be helping in search of this text Z star. Click on this. Click on that. And then the next screen, click on start search. You see the packages available with starting with ZMOH. Observe here. My starting ZMOH star. It means first 4 characters should be ZMOH. The later star means it can be any text. But first 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, first 4 characters should be ZMOH, should be matching to this. And after H, it can be any text. The meaning of star is it can be any text. You see, there are 2 packages now readily available for me. Okay, it's up to you which one you want to select. So I select this. I select package. Okay, this is the package I selected. Now click on save. Click on save. Guys, no more local objects. I will again create one more program also. And how can I change the object from local object to the package? I will tell you that also. Okay. Now, provide the package name. Click on save button. So here, when you click on save button, again, you have an option here. You see, you can go for own request. You can create your transport request also. So now I go for own request. And I will try to put the first package which I created. So I'll select this one. I'll select this. Select it and say OK. Okay. So this is now my program. This is now my program. Okay, activate it. Yes, I'm not writing anything in that. Okay, I'm not writing anything in that. Now the program is inactive. Guys, just observe this. Click on activate button. Click on activate button. Observe this. When you saved your program in a package, the package is saved in a transport. Then when you try to activate your program, you see it will be under the transportable objects. It will fall under the transportable objects because you have a package for your program and you have a transport request for your program. Transport request is nothing but is a transportable object. It is a transportable object. As I told you, due to quality, again due to production, you can transport it. So these things fall under now transportable object. Okay. So previously, what was happening in this area when you're trying to activate your program? It was not in a package, it was not in a transport, it was under local object. I'll show you that as well. Okay, so now in this case, transportable object, save okay. Now it is now active. Now go to other session. This is my other session, and just look here. I saved the program. Look here. In the SAP ABAP development transport, the 5490 transport, I saved my program. Now observe here. Previously, it was the package available. Now you see there is a program also available. The same program which I created just now is now available in the same transport request number. You see this? So this is how you capture all your logically related objects. You will capture the relevant objects. I told you an example of a trip. You're packing snacks, you're packing clothes, you're packing your some food items, etc., things. So you're trying to put all the relevant. For example, if it's a program, you will have that in a program. For example, what I will do now, I'll create a new program again. Let us suppose for our time being, I'll say operations 3. Now click on creates. Okay, so program for internal table, let us suppose. Okay, I click on type. Okay, executable program. Click on save. Let us suppose. Okay, I am giving the package again. Click on save. The same package I'm giving. So click on save. It will ask you for the transport request. Okay, say okay. Try to activate your program. You see, it is again the tab. We call them as a tab. So transportable object tab and a local tab. It is under your program is here. Where is your program? What are you trying to do here? Just look down somewhere here. Your program will be there is a program and you will have a check on that program. You see at the bottom. Look here. This is a program and you selected that. There is a program and you selected it. Okay, it means by default it gets selected. Okay, by default it gets selected. It means you're trying to activate it. So not only this, you can also activate other things, but we can see that later. So by default it is selected and you click on enter. Right, your program is now active. Now go back into this, click on refresh. You see there is one more program available under your transport request number 5490. Okay, if you see this 5490 is the transport request number. What I will do, I'll copy this transport request number. What I can do, I will open only that transport request. You click on this display individually, provide the transport request number, hit enter. You see only that. No confusion, no more confusion. You don't see other transport requests. You see only your current transport request. No more confusion. Okay. So I'm trying to open this. You see, there is a program newly created, and that is also part of your transport request number. Okay, so when you provide your transport request number, remember guys, that will come and fall into your task. Okay, you cannot see these objects directly in 5490. So that is a concept here. Whenever you create a transport request, immediately it will have a task created. You see 5490, immediately you will see for a fresh transport, you will see 5491 also created. Okay, so this is the program, right? So This way, we try to create the transport request number, we try to create the package, and when we are doing some developments, when we are creating any program, we will try to also use the same package and the transport request number. You will see your objects increasing one after the other, one after the other. You will see package, you will see program, you will see sometime like tables, you will see sometime like data elements. Likewise, examples, you will see one after the other. Okay, you will see one after the other. For example, now what I will do, I will try to create a smart farm. The transaction code is smart farms. Let us suppose smart farms. I will say Z SF smart farm. Z is SF. I will say smart farm underscore. I will say this as PO form. Let us suppose PO form. I'm trying to create this PO form. Like click on create. Oh, there is okay. So there is something already available. I'll say click on create. Right. Just to try to activate it. It will ask you for the package. I'm saving that in the package name, and I use the same transport request number. Okay. Taking some time for saving and activating. Yeah, you see, it's now activated. Your form is activated. Now come back to your transport request. You see, previously it is like package and program available. Now I try to, now what I will do, I just go back, provide the same transport request number and open it. You see, one more object is under your transport, which is called as SAP Smart Form. That is what I created here. This is a smart form I created. I just created and activated it and saved it into the package and the transport. You see, there is one more object over here. You can see that. So the relevant objects will group together. See, smart farm folder. It is a container. The relevant objects will come and fall here. Program will come and fall here. Okay, likewise, a package will come and fall here. Likewise, so it's up to you. How do you organize your objects? Okay, so this is how we generally deal in the real-time environment, and this is very important. You can have some questions on this as well, because the topics other than these things, people will be readily answering. But when coming to this transport request process, can be answerable only by the real-time people who is working on the projects, because there are some cases where there are some errors on the transports and resolved it. And some people, as I told you, like instead of saving in their package, they will save in my package. In that saving in my package is attached to the my transport, and their objects will be in my transport. They try to release it, that will be logged in my object, and they approach me, and this is what happened. So likewise, there are some real-time scenarios or examples wherein some kind of issues that encountered and resolved. So I always advise you to be more careful while you're dealing with such kind of package creations or transport request creations when you work in the real-time environment. Okay, so this is the very important topic or the concept. Okay, okay. So now I created many programs. I created many programs, and all of them are now in local object. I did not assign any package. I did not assign any transport request number to it. How do I change it? How do I change my existing developments? Okay, come to this point. I'm going into my program. Let us suppose go to SC38. Let us suppose this is my program. Okay, I'm going in a display mode. Let us suppose in a display mode. Or my requirement is, how do I know the package? In which package is this program available? How do I know? How do I know in which package this program is available? Okay. Then come to this, open your program, go to, in the menu, go to option, go to object directory entry, click on object directory entry. What does this mean? Object directory entry. It means this is my object. This is my object. Program is my object. So the entry for this object, what are the entries for this object? That's what I'm going to search. Click on object directory entry. Observe here. You see the package name. This is the package. This is the package. You remember where we get this screen? This screen you get it when you first time when you created a program, and first time when you are trying to save it, this will be asked. Okay, the same screen you will be seeing first time when you are trying to activate your program, because it will ask you for a package, it will ask you for the package. So that's the same kind of screen is this. Okay, now this is the package. Okay, I know the package name, but how do I check in which transport request is this my program? How do I check in which transport request this program is present? So for that, what I do, you see there is an option here called lock overview. Lock overview. Click on that. When you click on that, you see your program ABAP batch 1 ATAB operations 3 is in this request 905490. 905490. Okay, I go back to the transport screen. This is the SC09 screen. Observe here, open your program. You see 905490. You see here 905490. Both of them are matching, right? Both of them are matching. You see 905490, 905490. Both of them are matching. It means you see your program is also ABAP batch 1 ITAB operations 3. The same is your program here. You see ABAP batch 1 ITAB operations 3. Okay. It means this is how you will identify the program in which transport your program is generally available. Okay, that is one way. Also, you will program, use the program name, click on attributes, click on display. Okay, if you click on display, you will also see the package name over here. You can also see the package name, but you cannot see the other option, that transport TR option, lock overview option over here. But you can see which package this program belongs to. Okay, so this is how generally we will generally see whenever any program is given to us. We will just try to see what is the package and what is the transport request number. Okay, all those things we will see it, right? And also, guys, this program, let us suppose I created it and I released it to develop to the quality environment. What happens in the testing of quality? There is some issue found. I need to fix it. Again, I come back to the development. Again, I open the same program. I will make the code fix over here. I will make the code fix. I will again create a new transport, fix the code, move the transport again. So likewise, multiple times, if there are any fixes that you are doing, you will actually note the transport request numbers. All the transport request number sequences, you will note it. Okay. So that part I will let you know later. Okay. So you will make a note of all those transport request numbers generally. Right. So this is the main concepts of the transport requests, and I always advise you guys to while you practice be careful for your I mean to say, don't try to put other people's objects into, I mean, your objects into other people objects, or don't try to hijack. What do you mean by hijack? Not hijacking the planes. Hijack means don't hijack the transports. It means don't take other people's transports into your control. That will be a big mess. Okay, it happened real time to me. Okay, it happened in real time to me. I did uh, I did I did create one object, and what happened? It was belonging to some other developer, and what I did, I moved. I created a task. I created a task to that requirement. I changed the name. You see here, right click on it, right click on it, change owner, right click on it, change owner. You see, you can change the name of the owner. The present owner is 62. If there is another owner over here, let us see if there are any users available over here. You can change that owner. You can change it to a new owner. You see, there are many users available in this system. Okay, let me take this side. You look here, 60, 61, 62, like there are many other users available over here. You can change that. You can change that. For example, what I will do, 62 is the user, right? I will say 64. Let us suppose. Let us suppose. You see? Now click on tick mark. What happens? Let us see. You see? Username change to 64. You understood? So it means this will be now under the control of 64. Now let us try to change the user from 64 to 62. You can change it. So this is like a real-time problem, but I don't advise you to do this. So that is the reason I always say to be more careful when you are dealing with this kind of scenarios. This comes with the real-time practice, but hopefully, like I will explain you in real time what kind of mess, what kind of the problems that will really happen with the transport request. Of course, you might be a good developer. Okay, you might have cracked many solutions with different clients, but coming to this part of creating the transports and assigning the transports and releasing the objects from the transports and the troubleshooting the transports is also very issues related to the transports is also very important. Okay, so yeah, that's about this session on transport creation and package creation